Hey everybody, what's going on? So today I want to talk about the reasons why to buy a manual car. So manual cars in America especially are a dying breed. Nobody really wants them anymore. Everybody just kind of wants an automatic, get in your car and go. But there is still a handful of us out there that appreciate the manual. And today I'm going to give you the reasons why I like to drive my manual car. Cheaper to purchase and they are cheaper to maintain. Now I say that if you go looking at new cars, a lot of them, you'll see about a $2,000 to $3,000 difference depending on the type of car that you want. Now if you get in the high performance cars such as like the Corvette or a Camaro or something like that, the pricing's not going to be that drastic, but you will see it is a little bit cheaper to purchase a manual, and they're just easier to maintain. In an automatic, parts are a lot more expensive. And the only thing you really have to worry about in the manual going bad is the clutch. But if you drive, fairly well, you won't have any issues with your clutch for up to 70, 80,000 miles. That's another reason why I enjoy driving it, and I don't really stress about my transmission because it's in good shape. Maintaining an automatic's a little more expensive because the fluid's more and you have more filters and stuff in your transmission. In a manual, you have gearbox oil, which is pretty cheap and easy to change. Anymore, it's a pretty good anti-theft. If you ask me, there's always, especially in the bad neighborhoods, there's always people trying to steal your car. And an automatic, they can just get in it and go. And with a stick, since not many people know how to drive it, they don't know what to do. So therefore, your car doesn't really get stolen. Number two is driver engagement. You definitely feel closer to your car when you drive a stick. You have a lot more control over it. That's just coming from me. Now, I've driven automatics in the past, and for me, they weren't really much of anything. And the stick shift for me is completely amazing. I love it. There are some downfalls to it, but that'll be in another video. Today, we're just going to focus on the pros. Another thing is they're better on gas. You have more control over your RPMs, which you have more control over how much fuel is going into the engine. You want to go for a cruise, you can just throw it in 5th or 6th gear depending on what car you have, and you're cruising right on along. And in an automatic, it's a little harder to do that because the car shifts on its own. So you can be driving on the highway just chilling, whatever, and your car will downshift because you're going up a slight hill, which is whatever, but at that time you're going to be using more gas to go where you got to go. Another reason for me why I enjoy driving manual is it's just a lot more entertaining. Now in an automatic, you just sit there, you put it in drive, and you just go. That's cool, especially if you're going on long road trips where you don't want to keep constantly shifting or whatever. Or especially if you live in a really, really big city like New York or Boston or Philadelphia or Pittsburgh or something like that, an automatic will definitely be a better option just due to traffic. Now, where I am, I'm in a smaller city, so traffic's not really a big deal, at least not for me anyway. I tend to avoid the highways during high rush hours. So driving for me is not a big deal at all. And finally, the manual transmission is just a lot more fun to drive, and you're more connected with your car, like I mentioned earlier. It's just all around more entertaining, and for me, that I drive a lot, and I really do like to be entertained while I drive. With a stick, you're less likely to check your phone because you have to manually shift your car. There's less distractions. You're just more connected to the road and your vehicle, and you're more aware of your surroundings. So for me, that's awesome. On the highway, people do drive bad. I'm not gonna lie, there are a handful of bad drivers out there. When you're more connected to the road, you can see things a lot further ahead because you're more focused. And it's just the control aspect. I can pop the car in neutral really fast and just coast, and I'll be okay. But those are just some of my reasons why I like to drive a manual car. Now, if you're younger and you're looking to get your first car, I do recommend learning to drive a stick. just because, you know, I learned how to drive stick. Now, it's not for everybody. I'm not gonna lie, it's not. Some people just really don't want to drive it, which is totally understandable. But I just gave you some points on the why I like it, why I find it interesting, and everything like that. So those are my reasons. Thank you guys for viewing. I appreciate it. If it's your first time stopping in, always subscribe. If you thought this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one.